Good morning, everyone. Well, at least morning where I am. My name is StealthClown on the Xbox Live, or on PSN. I'm known as bagtog. And today, I wanted to talk about something that I know I've been thinking about for a while, mulling it over. Something that's been on my mind, and it might not be the most important thing in the world, but it's just a topic that I find a bit interesting. And I guess if to cater to a very specific audience, if you were studying psychology, you might find it interesting. Basically, it's the hype generated and the anticipation for Modern Warfare 3 will ultimately be either for nothing or for something, because someone's going to be right and someone's going to be wrong. The people who are saying this game is going to be amazing, the best game ever, they're either going to be right or wrong. It's that simple. All the people who say the game is going to be terrible and overhyped and it's just a piece of crap are going to either be right or wrong. So what is going to happen? What's going to happen when the game finally drops? How are we going to decide if the game is good or not? And of course, most people, me being one of them, if there's a game that I'm either on the fence about buying, or a game that I do want to buy and I just want to make sure that my purchase was justified, I of course turn to the internet and video game reviewing websites such as GameSpot, IGN, those kind of people. And it's been interesting. I've recently decided to just go back and watch some of the video reviews on IGN, just because they seem to be the ones who attract the ones who attract a lot of unwanted attention. Because there are a lot of arguments that happen in the comment section for IGN's reviews of Call of Duty games. I started way back. I decided to start with the first Call of Duty game I bought, which was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And I watched the video review for that, and the reviewer, can't remember his name, was saying this game is fresh, it's exciting, multiplayer is great. The story, is a bit short, but whatever. It's a good game, and a lot of people would regard Call of Duty 4 as being one of the best titles, simply for its originality, I suppose. I certainly found it very refreshing the first time I played it, and the video had pretty much 90%, 95% likes and only 5 to 10% dislikes. So a lot of people were very happy with this video. And in the comment section, there were quite a few comments that I saw. People were saying, "Oh man, this game's so good. It's a shame that all the other COD games haven't been able to, live up to this one." And then there are other people who would disagree and would say, "Oh, what are you talking about? Modern Warfare 2 is such a huge improvement." And you get the idea. And of course, then I watched the one for World at War, which the reviewer was saying, it's great that they've gone back to World War II. I mean, even though it's been done to death, this is, if you were to compare World at War with other World War II video games, this would probably be the best one. So, and they said how it was refreshing to see the zombies. So again, quite a good review for them, and quite a few people agreed. They were saying, yeah, this game's good. And of course, there were a few niggling arguments and such. And then then things started to get interesting when November 10th, 2009, IGN uploaded their video review for Modern Warfare 2. And that was when things started getting interesting. In the review, they said basically that if you're buying this game for the single player experience, you've been warned. I think that's what the guy's exact words were. Basically, they were saying, this game, the single player, don't even worry about it. Actually, in fact, that was one of their negative points, at the end when they show the pluses and the minuses. The negative was weak story. Pluses were all to do with multiplayer and everything like that. And one comment that the reviewer made, which some of us could look back on and see as quite amusing, was he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but the quote was something along the lines of, "This is by far the most balanced multiplayer experience Call of Duty has ever made," or something like that. Basically, saying it's the most balanced. Now, I don't know about you, but I could say with quite a bit of certainty that in my experience, Modern Warfare 2 was certainly not the most balanced Call of Duty game. In fact, I would go as far to say as it was probably the least balanced Call of Duty game. But then again, what do we define as balance? What is he talking about that makes me disagree with him? When I think balance, I think about not necessarily how good or bad people do. Like, just because you got a game where a lot of people have the same amount of kills and deaths doesn't mean it's balanced. I think for balance, we're talking about kill streaks and perks. So, for example, if there's someone who can call in a predator missile, and then call in a helicopter, and then call in a stealth bomber or a chopper gunner or something, without really leaving the corner that he's been hiding in to protect his kill streak, and he goes on a rampage and kills me 12, 13 times with his kill streaks without leaving a room, that's what I would call unbalanced. So I don't exactly know what this reviewer's line of thinking was when he said that this was the most balanced game. Maybe some of you could enlighten me as to what that is, but I certainly do not agree with him in that manner. But apart from that, the game got a really good score. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like 9.2 or 9.5 or something. But they said it was really good. Just on a personal note, Modern Warfare 2 is probably the Call of Duty I've spent the least amount of time playing. I've actually probably logged more hours in World at War. So, yeah. And of course, a year later, 2010, around about the same time, mid-November, they put out their video review for Black Ops. And Black Ops, which I think is the most refreshing, and well, it's you know, gameplay, yes, it's very similar, but in terms of how it looks, the way it's presented, the story, which I think is the best story in any Call of Duty game, I thought this game was rather refreshing. I thought it was something new, something different, you know, Cold War, you know, it hasn't really been done that much before in my experience. And these reviewers said, you know, multiplayer is great, you know, the story is one of the best stories ever, so that's already one up on Modern Warfare 2, you know, best story ever. But they gave it an 8.5, and you were thinking, whoa man, 8.5 is still a good score. Yes, it is. It is. But I just found this game more refreshing than Modern Warfare 2. And yet it got the lowest score. Now, there are all these people out there who say IGN's conspiring with Infinity Ward and all that to say, oh, you know, give us money and we'll say that your competitor's game isn't as good and we'll say yours is brilliant. But I don't know if that's true or not. But ultimately, my question is, what will IGN and other review sites think of Modern Warfare 3? Will they do what they did with Black Ops and say that the multiplayer is good but it's getting a bit old? Or, because it's a Modern Warfare game, will they say this is the best thing ever? Because yes, they have been innovating a bit with their COD Elite service and, you know, gun perks and proficiencies, but I question if that will really actually change the flow of the game dramatically. I'm not saying Modern Warfare 3 looks like a bad game or is going to be a bad game, I'm just wondering if it will actually be received as this godlike, superhuman, amazing game that, you know, these people are playing it out to be. Anyway, thank you for listening. This has been Stealth Clown, or on PSN bagtog, and feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, and get a bit of a discussion going if you feel like it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much.